Hello everyone and welcome to another Math tutorial video. Now I'll be discussing Form 5 Additional Mathematics Chapter 2 Differentiation Long Question Example 1. Okay, before that, please like this video to show your support and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming mathematics tutorial videos in the future. Okay, let me read the question now. The question asks to find the value of the following three limits over here. So you have question part A, part B and part C. Okay guys, so this is the overall question. So I hope that you will attempt this question in the future. If you could manage to solve this question, a big thumbs up to you guys. But if you can't solve this question, no worries, I'm going to show you the step-by-step working and the solutions. So without further delay, let us start to solve the question. Let us start our discussion with the question part A, where they ask us to find the limit of x squared plus x minus 6 over x plus 3 when your x approaches negative 3. I hope that this diagram is clear for you guys. Okay, so let us start to solve this question. So before moving on to solve this question, the first step what you need to do is you need to try to substitute and see. Okay, so this negative 3, when you substitute inside, so you'll observe one thing. Okay, the negative 3 plus 3 will occur in the denominator over here. So negative 3 plus with 3, you'll end up getting 0 over here in the denominator. So anything you divide with 0, you will end up getting maths error. So maths error means that you cannot get a solution for this particular question. So in order to get a solution, what you need to do is this x squared plus x minus 6, you need to factor them out. So how are you going to perform the factorization? So let me show you in the working over here. So from here, okay, limit when your x approaches negative 3. So this x squared plus x minus 6, okay, you factor them out. So from here you should get x minus 2, okay, and then you should get x plus 3, okay, and then you divide with x plus 3. Okay, so let me underline the fraction. So for the next step, what you can do is this x plus 3 in the numerator and this x plus 3 in the denominator, you can simplify them. Okay, you simplify this, you get 1. You simplify this, you get 1. Okay, so once you get this, now we can proceed to substitute into the limit, guys. Okay, so from here, so when x equals to negative 3, so from here negative 3 minus with 2, so from here you should get your limit equals to negative 5. Okay, so this is the answer, guys. Okay, question part A is pretty straightforward. Okay, let me underline the solution. Okay, so that is all for the working of the question part A. So I hope you understand the concept, guys. Let me proceed to the question part B now. Continue our discussion for the question part B, where they ask us to find the limit 1 minus square root 2x plus 1 divide with 2x squared minus x, where your x approaches 0. Well, this question gets a bit complicated as it is involving the surd concept over here. So in order to solve a limit where it is involving the surd, we need to use the conjugate method. Okay, you might be wondering, so what is the conjugate method? Actually, you have learned this concept in your lower secondary, but if you forget it, no problem. Let me show you a quick explanation about the conjugate method over here. So let's say, for example, you have this expression a plus b. So the conjugate of a plus b will be a minus b. So the conjugate for the plus symbol will be the minus symbol over here. So let's say you're performing the expansion of this. Okay, in general, we know that a plus b, you times with a minus b, you'll end up in a square minus with b square. But let's say we want to prove this, how we get this a square minus b square. So let us perform the manual expansion. So a, you times with a first, so from here you get this a square. So a, you times with negative b, so from here you get this negative ab. So b, you times with a, so from here you get this positive ab, and then b, you times with negative b, you get this negative b square. So the negative ab and positive ab will get cancelled off. So that is how you get a square minus b square. So I hope you understand the concept of conjugate, guys. Okay, so we're going to use the conjugate method to solve this limit question which involves the surd. Okay, so from here let us start to solve this question. So from here, limit x approaches 0, 1 minus square root 2x plus 1. Okay, the conjugate of this expression will be 1 plus square root 2x plus 1. Okay, let me underline the square root. Okay, so let me underline the fraction as well. So once you times the numerator, you also must times the same thing for the denominator. Okay, so from here 2x square minus x, okay, and then you times with the 1 plus square root 2x plus 1. Okay, so let us focus on the numerator first. Okay, for the denominator, we'll hold it first. Okay, why we need to hold the denominator? So please follow up with me the working, then only you can understand the explanation that I'm about to tell you. Okay, so from here let us start to solve the numerator by using the conjugate method. So from here you should get limit x approaches 0. So you solve this, you should get 1 minus in a bracket 2x plus 1 close bracket. Okay, and then you divide with 2x square minus x in a bracket 1 plus square root 2x plus 1. Okay, you solve this, you solve the numerator, you should get limit x approaches 0, you should get is negative 2x. Okay, and then you divide with 2x square minus x, and then in the bracket 1 plus square root 2x plus 1. Okay, once we are done with the numerator, now we can focus on the denominator. So can you observe this expression 2x square minus x? Okay, this one you can actually factor out your negative x, guys. Okay, why we are doing this? So we are trying to simplify the negative x in the numerator and in the denominator as well. Okay, so from here limit x approaches 0. So from here you factor out the negative x, you only left out with 2. Okay, as over here you factor out the negative x, you only left with negative 2x plus 1. Okay, let me write the plus 1 here properly, and then times with 1 plus square root 2x minus 1 plus square root 2x plus 1, guys. Okay, so underline the fraction. So this negative x and negative x will get cancelled off. So you only left with limit x approaches 0 to, you divide with negative 2x plus 1. Okay, and then you times with 1 plus square root 2x plus 1. Okay, let me underline the fraction and underline the square root line. So from here we can able to substitute the limit inside this expression over here. So let us substitute them. 2, okay, and then you divide with negative 2 bracket 0 plus with 1, okay, and then times with 1 plus square root 2 times with 0 plus with 1. Okay, you square root this. Okay, and then you underline the fraction. So from here, the numerator still remains 2. Okay, and then you divide with, okay, this side you should get your answer is 1. Okay, as over here, so 2 times with 0 you should get is 0. So 0 plus with 1 you get 1. So square root 1 you still get 1. So 1 plus 1 you should get is 2. So 1 times 2 you should get is 2. So 2 you divide with 2. So from here you should get the answer is equals to 1. Okay, so that is the explanation, guys, for the question part B. It is slightly trickier as compared to the question part A because you need to factor out the negative x over here. Actually, you can factor out x. At the end, you still get the same answer. Okay, there's no specific method, guys, over here. So this is the method that I propose to you. So the method of SURD, you just have to apply the conjugate at the early stage, and then you need to factor out the one of the x variable, and then you should able to get the limit value. Okay, in this case you should get your answer is 1. Okay, so I hope that you understand the full working that I've shown to you for the question part B. So let us proceed on our last discussion, which is the question part C. We have come to the last question, which is the question part C, where we are required to solve the limit of x plus 2 divide with square root 5x plus 14 minus 2, where your x approaches negative 2. Okay, we are going to use the similar method for the question part B over here, guys. Okay, which is the conjugate method. So without further ado, let us start to solve the question. So from here, limit x approaches negative 2. So from here, we are going to start by times the conjugate at the numerator followed by the denominator in reference to the conjugate of the denominator over here, guys. Okay, so I hope you understand what I mean. So from here, x plus 2 times with square root 5x plus 14 plus 2. Okay, let me underline the square root. Okay, and then followed by the fraction line. So as for the denominator over here, so it will be square root 5x plus 14 minus 2. Okay, let me underline the square root. Okay, and then times with the conjugate. Square root 5x plus 14 plus 2. Okay, so for this case, we will left the numerator and we solve the denominator first. Okay, which one? The conjugate one, we solve that first. Okay, so from here, limit x approaches negative 2. So the numerator you copy paste. Okay, so the denominator you should get 5x plus 14 minus with 4. Okay, so you underline. So continue to the next step. So from here, limit x approaches negative 2. Okay, the numerator still remain the same. Okay, we solve the denominator. You should get 5x plus 10. Okay, can you notice some similarities between 5x plus 10 and x plus 2 is actually a factor of 5, guys. Okay, when you factor out 5 over here, you're only left with x plus 2. So in the next step, what you can do is that x plus 2 and x plus 2, you can easily cancel them out. So I hope you understand the concept behind this. So for the next step, limit x approaches negative 2. Okay, the numerator still remain the same. Okay, as for the denominator, you factor out the 5. Okay, you only left with x plus 2. Okay, let me underline the fraction. So now the x plus 2 and x plus 2 over here can be simplified. Okay, you simplify this, you get 1. You simplify this, you get 1. Okay, so now you only left with limit x approaches negative 2. Okay, the numerator you get square root 5x plus 14 plus 2. Okay, and then you divide with 5. Okay, let me underline the square root line and the fraction line. Okay, so now we can able to substitute the limit inside, guys. Okay, so from here square root 5 times with negative 2 plus with 14 plus with 2, and then you divide with 5. Okay, so please wait, guys. So 5 times with negative 2 you should get is negative 10. So negative 10 plus with 14 you should get is 4. So 4 plus with, oops, there is a mistake over here, guys. Okay, it should be until here. Okay, thank God I just noticed it. So 5 times with negative 2 you should get is negative 10. So negative 10 plus with 14 you should get is 4. So from here you should get is square root 4 plus with 2 over, let me write this properly lah, guys. Okay, so from here square root 4 plus with 2 over 5. Okay, so from here square root 4 you should get is 2. So 2 plus with 2 you should get 4. So from here you should get your final answer is 4 over 5. So this is your answer for the question part C. Let me write the 5 properly. Okay, so that is all for the step-by-step working and solution for this question. I hope you understand the full working that I've shown to you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more upcoming mathematics tutorial videos in the future, and not to forget to share this video. Thank you everyone for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.